Hey YouTube, NWA Prepper here, coming at you on a pretty good looking evening. No real reason other than it's been a little while since my last video. So I wanted to take some time and tell you about what I've been up to. The big thing is I'm working the Prepper Show circuit, for lack of a better term, again. And I'm teaching some classes. The last one I taught was kind of an intro to being prepared for emergencies. I titled it Basic Emergency Preparedness, and taught it in my local community at the fire department at a venue that is open for classes like that for National Preparedness Month, which is September, if you didn't know. And then there's another one in November in Northwest Arkansas. It's from R&K shows. They do pretty good prepper fairs all over the country, and I'll be there, and I will be talking about EDC, and one of my good friends will be teaching. I don't know exactly how he's going to word it, but kind of all things water purification, things like that. So I'm excited to be doing things like that again. It's been a little while. Gives me another chapter for my book. Figuratively speaking, of course. Or I guess not, actually. I'm working on a book, but there's so many out there. I'm not trying to recreate the wheel or anything, so. But it's a beautiful evening. It's been very warm here. We just had a huge motorcycle rally where I live, or near where I live. Upwards of 300,000 people coming into the area where I live. And that is just pretty crazy. Oh yeah. 300,000 people. Can you imagine that number coming into your area? A lot of challenges. Everything from traffic to emergency services to hotels to food venues. It's real taxing to an area. Locals don't go anywhere near there. They're like, well, not all of them, obviously, but a lot of them are like, oh, I don't want to go to town, so I'm buying my milk and eggs beforehand. So it's a lot like a snowstorm in that they run out and freak out and try to pick up all their staples so they don't have to leave the house. I think it's kind of funny. Well, it was also a NWA Preparedness Fair put on by the LDS Church, and it's not very big. They sure try, and there's a lot of good information and some good networking, so it's definitely worth a trip. I went up there with several of my good friends and met more friends there and walked around, and it was real good to network and be with everyone, and saw some new things. Oh goodness, the freeze dryer, like a home freeze dryer, was really exciting. I'm gonna look into starting a savings jar to come up with that. It's a pretty pricey. It's a little over $2,000, and of course I've just started getting into the dehydrating myself instead of going to others to do it. So I've got a little ways to go before I even think of an investment like that. That's just huge. But it's on my radar. Well, after that event, jumped in the truck with a couple of my friends who've been having some vehicle issues, and it was really neat that some other prepper friends of mine that they just met loaned them their pickup. Just because that's what our community does. and I really like that. But anyway, so I jump in the truck with them, and we go north to a prepper beehive store or bee store, primarily a beekeeping store, and they carry prepper supplies as well. I mean, they're one and the same. Honey's wonderful. That's kind of been my passion lately. But well, while we're there, we're looking around and enjoying it. I hadn't been there. Been driven by it a few times, but we'd never been by there. So we go up there, and we're walking around and we're looking, and of course we get to sample some honey. I got to taste some creamed honey, which was pretty exciting. But then they had in their stuff that they had for sale, they had, and I will show you here, they had 2x2 gauze, just a bulk bag of 2x2 bandages. You know, I don't know, just basic 2x2s. Well, you can never have too many bandages or consumables in your supply. So I grabbed a couple of them and put them in on the pile there. And I was walking around, and I got to looking. Of course, the price was really reasonable to me. It was $1 a package. And so I'm sitting there thinking about, well, you know what, they're about $1 online, but then I've got to pay taxes and shipping and this and that. Of course, I paid taxes too, and then so I'm like, well, I can support a local business, a local preparedness business, by buying something that I really need to stock up on. I need more bandages. I mean, you can never have too much gauze. You can clean wounds with it. You can protect wounds. You can, control bleeding. So as you can see, I invested several dollars. I won't lie, I bought all they had at a local preparedness shop, a local beekeeping shop. It wasn't even necessarily a prepper shop. So I think I spent about $10, $10 or $11 on bandages. And then, of course, I bought some creamed honey with strawberry flavor. It's awesome. But the reason I bring up the bandages is not to go, oh, look, I've got $10 worth of gauze. To point out that you never know where you're going to come across a deal that you can afford that will help prepare you for emergencies. Now, sorry about that. So I have an 11-year-old active boy. He's in the outdoors. He plays sports. I have a daughter who, she's 14. She's out and about. And we need bandages all the time. When you have a wound, you don't need one. You need 10 or 15 over the course of taking care of that wound. And so to have an extra supply of these at a really reasonable price that I got from a local like-minded store for the same price, or possibly even less, than I would get online. And I support a like-minded business. I'm pretty excited about it. I hope to get to know them a little bit better and maybe be able to do some trading, maybe do some classes at their store. It's just really exciting. And though these are gauze, of course, if you watch any of my videos, I'm going to try to vacuum seal them to see if I can get them repackaged and be able to stand up a lot better than this paper wrapper, and to take up less room, but most importantly to protect them. And I love vacuum sealing stuff. So also picked up some oxygen absorbers, which I've already put those away. So I got some oxygen absorbers for the same price that I get them for online, in smaller ones that I can put in jars as I dehydrate stuff. I'm just excited about it. But I never would have stopped. It wasn't a place that I set out to go to. It was one of those targets of opportunity. So get out, look for those targets of opportunity. Look for like-minded stores, whether it's an auto parts store or a restaurant. You never know what you're going to find. Always keep your eyes open. Good, bulky bandages for $1 a package from a like-minded person. It's just one more step in being prepared. Remember, always keep your eyes open. Thanks for watching. Share, subscribe. Let's get ready.